Hey up and welcome to part 17 of my Road to Glory. Due to lack of interest in this series, I think from now on my episodes are going to be less regular and no longer full recaps of the previous week. Instead I'm just going to show my best pack pulls, highlights and tips. Like this one, I found the L1 long ball to be quite overpowered. But for now, we're still going to have a full episode this week and go through the marquee matchups, everything I've done with my team, and the investments that I've got lined up for Footmas and our packs. So you can see there, I finished, was it Elite 2 in squad battles for the last week. And that gave us a couple of mega packs to open. And in the first mega pack, I think it's this one, we get some boards, and it is a Spanish midfielder, Koke, 84 rated. That's not bad. I've started hoarding and picking up as many cheap 83s and 84s that I can in preparation for the squad building challenges that came out last Christmas. Hopefully they'll be doing something very similar again. And we get boards in the second mega pack as well. It's only an 83 rated this time, Gamero, but as I say again, will be really useful for squad building challenges. Another reason I've decided to not put out as long a video or as many videos going forward is that I'm not really enjoying FIFA at the moment. The gameplay to me seems to have changed quite dramatically in the last week or so. A few people have agreed on Reddit and a few people have disagreed at the same time, saying it's all in your head, as we get a not very good lone player there from our free pack. But to me, I've gone from smashing legendary every game to losing half my games in squad battles. Goretzka there is not bad from a free pack, make a few K on him. Yeah, I've gone from smashing legendary every single game to losing half my games, and all games being 1-0 and feeling really slow. The gameplay is all sluggish and balls are just bouncing around and ricocheting, and the AI seems to have gone really defensive. Not even getting a rare player there in our free pack. But as we look through the trade pile here, as I was saying, I'm not really enjoying FIFA that much. So this coming week that you would have seen in next week's video, I've hardly played any FIFA at all. I played squad battles the first few days and didn't enjoy it, and I haven't had the time still to play Foot Champions. As this was called an old man's road to glory, I've been busy at weekends and yeah, not having the time during the week to qualify. But this is the team I've got now. You'll have seen from the previous week or 2 weeks ago, I've sold Hernan Crespo and Kante and Neuer, and in place I have bought Patrick Vieira, who I wasn't sure to begin with, but he is an absolutely fantastic player and I'm so glad to have him in my team. I also picked up that Kimmich to try at right mid, and this Goretzka card to replace Kante, because mainly got him because of his height, as I found Vieira to be so effective, being like 6'3", and Goretzka has also been another fantastic card. And I've started using that Gabriel Jesus that we got in the untradeable 2-player pack, and that ter Stegen that we got in the untradeable La Liga pack. You can see here I sold a lot of Polish and Egyptian players that I'd bought before the Player of the Month and the marquee matchups, and as always sell on hype when the prices are most expensive, because you didn't need any of them. As you can see, the marquee matchups there's no Polish games involved, which I didn't think it would be because the Polish game was a midweek game. I was lucky enough to have, I think it was an Amiens player, or I can't remember who they were playing against, but I had a player in my club already for the French one, which otherwise would have been quite expensive. And as you can see, I had lots of players in the club that I didn't need for the rest of the squad building challenges, so I used the ones I needed and sold the rest for a nice profit, and that was the Bundesliga one done. And Newcastle Arsenal, I've no idea why that would be a marquee matchup, but again I had enough players for that one, and you see here managed to sell my spare Newcastle and Arsenal players, and I had tons of the Pro League players in preparation for an SBC, rather than putting them in the upgrades. I had them in my club and was able to do the Anderlecht game very easily and make loads from bronze and silver players that I got in my club. So we'll go through the trade pile, having a look at all the players that I've listed and made profit from this week's marquee matchups. And this was the best marquee matchup pack that I got. It was only a small players pack, but we managed to get an 82 rated inform Papadopoulos, which I will be holding on for the Christmas squad building challenges, in the hope that there's some players released that I will want, and if not, hopefully his price will go up, being an 82 rated inform from a good league, and can sell him for a nice tidy amount. You see here some more bronze players selling. So as I was talking about my team then, yeah, I sold Crespo as he only seemed to be effective in half my games, and I didn't really enjoy him. His finishing was good every now and again, but his strength and that just wasn't good enough for me. So for now I've gone to an untradeable player that was in my club, and used the coins from him and everything else that I managed to sell to get Patrick Vieira, which I think was a fantastic choice. I also picked up a few of these Screamer cards for half the price I sold them for, and Brozovic. I'd picked them up in preparation for Footmas, and when the Salah SBC came out for his Player of the Month, Calcio A players were needed. You can see another Brozovic and a Sorrentino there as well. Calcio A players were needed, and either man of the match or scream cards. So as you can see here, I cashed in straight away, and golds that I'd bought for discard, Serie A golds, had gone up 10-15,000 coins profit on them, and made double my money on the Halloween cards, which was very nice. You can see here bidding for under 1,000 coins on loads of 83s, or 1,000 coins, in 1,200 coins in a couple of cases for Premier League and that. You can see here lots and lots of 83s picking up, all in preparation for Friday to see what squad building challenges would be released. And if it follows last Christmas, then there was 3 every day. So picking up lots and lots of 83s and 84s when I spot them cheap, to either use myself or to make a nice tidy profit on, because hopefully if there's a good SBC, then they should double the value that I paid for them. And you can see here I started selling a few of them off, bought for 800, 850 and selling them for 1,500, so a nice tidy profit to start with. And you can see here me doing the loan for Mohamed Salah. I'm not going to do the full SBC for the Player of the Month card. As I said in the early videos, I'm trying not to have loads of untradeable expensive players in my club this year. The exceptions to that is the icons. There's Overmars and Rui Costa I really like, and those two guys will stay in my team until the end of this FIFA. I don't mind picking up the loan cards though. As you've seen, I've got lots of 83s and stuff that I've picked up pretty cheap, and 20 games for that 88 Salah was pretty good. And you saw there, after a few games with Kimmich at right mid, I didn't enjoy him. I also tried him at centre back, and he was too short to play there. So I've gone back to Dembele on right mid for now. And this is me completing the Quaresma SBC. So we can give Quaresma a try as well, and that's a nice tidy 25,000 coins into the club too. And this guy might be my right mid going forward. I'm not really sure how I'm going to fit him into the team. I might have to change formation to get him that strong link to Rui Costa. It's either that or go back to having Pepe in defence to give him that strong link to get him on 10 chem. You can see I bought Rudiger for now, who isn't amazing but isn't bad either, and will get replaced at some point. Vieira there cost me nearly 1.5 million, so he's the most expensive player so far this year that I've bought. Goretzka has been impressive, and it's a tall midfield now, which I really like. I've found I've been scoring more goals from corners as well. I sold Neuer because I had an untradeable 87 goalkeeper, and nearly 200,000 coins on a goalkeeper seems like a bit of a waste. Over the coming weeks, I think a striker upgrade, and we'll look at getting a better defender that gives ter Stegen a link. Striker wise, I've been looking at tall and fast, and maybe a bit stronger than what I've got. Aubameyang, Lewandowski maybe, or I could afford Suarez, and he has a link to Dembele. I'm really not sure about Bergkamp. Sometimes he's really good, and sometimes he does nothing in a game, so I'm not sure whether to keep him or not for now. I'll have to have a think. Overall, it's not a bad team for one that hasn't played FUT Champions this year. But as I said, I'm not enjoying FIFA too much at the minute, so we'll probably be playing a lot less going forward. If you're subscribing to the channel, we'll have pack openings, my rewards, and any tips I've got going forward. I hope you'll have seen from my trading tips how we're able to build a 3 to 4 million coin team without playing FUT Champions. My top tips then, which I'll leave you with this week, are to buy players when there are pack promos and everyone else is selling. Bronze pack method as much as you can. It's boring, but upgrade your duplicates and you'll eventually not need to buy players for marquee matchups. Always sell on hype, like those Egyptian and Polish players we saw earlier. They weren't needed for the SBCs, but they doubled, tripled, gone way up in value, and as they weren't needed, always sell before the actual SBC comes out, when profit's at its highest, because when the SBC drops, even if they're needed, everybody dumps their investments and tries to undercut each other. So top tip there, always sell on hype. And finally, my tip for this year, don't do the untradeable SBCs, as you won't see those coins again. There's a few exceptions to that rule, of course, like that SBC for Prime Rui Costa. He is one of the best players in the game, particularly at the time that he was released, and also it's so cheap to do him and the packs you get back, that you could also use him for another icon that you want even more, because he's actually cheaper to do his SBC than it is to buy a central icon off the market. So there is exceptions, but in general this year I found not doing the untradeable player SBCs to leave me with much more coins and much more flexibility in the teams I can build and what I can do with my coins. So with Christmas and Futmas coming up, we're likely to see 3 untradeable players every day, and unless there's something exceptional that will stay in my team until the end of FIFA, I'm going to sell all my informs and 83s and 84s, 85s and 86s that I've got in the club that go up in value for profit, and then use those coins to upgrade my own team, getting maybe a Suarez or a Messi, or maybe even working towards that Cristiano Ronaldo. So that's my plan going forward. You've seen my team and the investments I've got in my club, and I guess we'll leave it there for this week, guys. So thanks for watching. Bye.